Good morning, traders from whichever side of the country. World you're watching me from, welcome to the first morning market call for the year 2026. My name is Ian Joseph. Quick disclaimer before we do begin. The information herein is only meant for educational and informative purposes only. None of it shall be construed as investment advice. Trading the financial markets do carry a degree of risk, but don't worry. I'm here to help you look at the markets the right way. It is a beautiful start to the year, and I am going to digest what's been happening currently at the moment, starting with the title suggesting that yes, indeed, geopolitical tensions currently at the moment are at all-time highs. And what does this mean for me as a trader? What does it mean for opportunities in the marketplace? I would want to start by the bonuses and promotions that we do have currently ongoing. If you go over to your HF platform on the website or the application under the bonuses and promotions, we do have quite a lot on store for you. Starting off with the score and draw. The promotion is still ongoing. You have an opportunity to take home a brand new BMW. Not only that, there's going to be a UK Premier League trip for two, all expenses paid for, flights, accommodations, match tickets. You're going to redeem 20 points for a single ticket. Not only that, 4 winners are going to be gifted a 55-inch TV. 20 winners are going to be gifted official EPL football jerseys of their own choice, and 60 winners are going to be credited $200 each into their account. How do you join? You go over to the HF once again. Under the promotions, join the score and draw. You're going to trade, earn points, and allocate them across different draws for exclusive prizes. I want to give a special shout out to I am again for joining Enik Muia. We have African Bantu Vigilance and Grivo. Welcome to the stream. Moving over, we do have the volume leaders. This is a new promotion that has just started recently. It did begin on 2nd of January. It's going to run through. The first phase is going to end on 28th of February 2026. We are going to have up to $1,000 being gifted per winner, and we are going to have unlimited winners. For every 100 lots you do trade, you win $100 cash back. Hit all the milestones and take home the $1,000. Quite interesting. How do you join? You go over to the HFM under the promotions, join the volume leaders, and for everyone 100 lots you do trade, once again, and up to $100. Quite interesting. I'll want to switch gears to the economic calendar. This is where we usually digest and start our day, where we look at the information that is being released to us, and we shall look at what's happening geopolitical wise. If you have any assets that you want me to look into, kindly put it in the chat section. I'll be glad to analyze it for you. Now, during Asian session today, we did have PMI numbers coming out for the Chinese yuan, where the previous number was 52.1, and the data actually came in at 52.0. Now, quite interesting thing to note about the purchasing managers index is that if the data does come out greater than 50, it means the economy is generally expanding. If the data comes out lesser than 50, it means the economy is generally contracting. It's going to be a relatively quiet day up until New York session. We do have ISM manufacturing PMI for the United States dollar, where the previous number was 48.2. We are looking at a forecast of 48.3. The actual number has not yet been released. In the next 7 hours, 49 minutes, it's going to be quite volatile. Now, over the weekend, we did have President Trump invading Venezuela. He did go and did take charge. Maduro is expected in court later on today. And this is what we need to make ourselves aware of currently at the moment. They will appear in federal court at noon on Monday, which is going to be later on today. And President Trump did mention that the US will run Venezuela temporarily during the transition and get the oil flowing. He said Sunday, the US was in charge of Venezuela. Now, the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, signaled on Sunday that the US doesn't plan to directly govern Venezuela, but will continue to enforce an oil quarantine as part of a plan to influence policy. Now, Maduro and his wife did land in New York, and hours after being captured by a U.S. military operation in Caracas, they're being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn currently at the moment, and they are going to face federal charges related to drug trafficking and working with gangs designated as terrorist organizations, which Maduro currently at the moment does deny. Now, it was a special operation by the Delta Force, an elite special forces unit carried out the operation to capture Maduro. Now, currently at the moment, the Colombian president to Trump did mention stop slandering me. And if you look at Venezuela and Colombia, they are neighbors, and it is a rich area in terms of reserves. Now, why does the United States of America want Venezuela so bad? It is because of the oil reserves. Now, looking at it, currently in the world as it stands, Venezuela has the richest deposits in terms of oil reserve, standing at 303.2 billion barrels. Saudi Arabia follows next with the 267.2 billion barrels. Iran, Iraq, UAE, Kuwait, Russia, Libya. You can see the magnitude. The United States has only 45 billion barrels in terms of reserves, whereas Venezuela has more than 300 billion. And this is what it's all about. It's all about the oil. It's all about how oil moves into the United States. Now, before the attack, Venezuela used to export at least 1.4 million barrels per day to the United States of America. But ever since Maduro did take power, we have been seeing the economy move to the downside quite aggressively. And this is the belt that we are looking at currently at the moment. It's called the Orinoco Belt. This is the richest deposit in terms of oil. And as you can see from the map here, it has close proximity to Colombia, Brazil, basically Southern America. And what could it mean in the near future? Would President Donald J. Trump also invade Colombia, as he has mentioned? Only one way to find out. Now, looking at the information currently at the moment, I would want to switch over to the charts. What does this mean for me as a trader here in Kenya? How can I capitalize on these opportunities? I would want to pull up my MetaTrader, starting off with the precious metal, gold, XAUUSD, where today we did see gold prices gap to the upper side. We did enter a period of consolidation as the year did close to the upper side, and this is quite expected whenever there is economic uncertainty, geopolitical tensions, whenever there is economic uncertainty, whenever there is fear in the markets. Usually we do see gap for today. Prices of gold did gap more than 280 pips to the upper side, and ever since Friday's closing price to where we are trading currently at the moment, prices of gold has moved more than 2% to the upper side. Now, currently at the moment, prices of gold has moved more than 2% to the upper side, more than 270 pips in less than 9 hours of trading, currently trading about $4,420 an ounce, which is quite aggressive considering this was the high that was formed on Friday last week, and we are well above that region. We are looking at the average is trading slightly above prices, signaling that yes, indeed, buyers are in control over this market. And if the situation does continue to unfold the way it does currently at the moment, we do anticipate prices of gold to continue moving bullish to the upper side. Now, currently at the moment, I'm to pull a Fibonacci from the open price to the high that was formed, and I would want to get a special attention. We did have a breakout 2,400 mark, and currently at the moment it is a London session, and we are seeing prices to continue moving bullish to the upper side. Currently at the moment, it is around psychological level that we are identifying. Just a moment. We have heard you. We shall look into that. Now, looking at this region around 3,741 euros per ounce. This is gold against the euro. Currently, at the moment, prices are well bullish. If we do have a retest back into that region and we do see signs of buyers still in the markets, I will consider looking at more net long opportunities to the upper side, considering it is the start of the yearly candle. It is technically speaking, this is the first full trading week of 2026, and we usually see a lot of activities, especially if you look at of the yearly candle has been really aggressive in terms of gold moving to the upper side. Could this year be the same in terms of we already seeing geopolitical tensions at the moment, and prices of gold has already started moving to the upper side? Could this be the start to gold moving further to $4,000 an ounce on gold? And it was 4,400 to be exact, and we did see gold tap into that before the year does end. Speculations could be this year. Where do you think gold could be? Is it likely we might see gold moving to $5,000 before 2026 does end? And that's a good thing about being a trader. I would want to switch over to silver. If you have any asset, kindly put it in the chat section. I'll be glad to look at you. Silver prices. Silver did gap to the upper side. We did see signs of buyers, quite aggressive buyers during Asian session today. Looking at Friday's closing prices to where we are trading currently at the moment, silver is up 3.62%. This is more than 200 inflation. Now, Maduro is expected to go to court later on in the day, and we'll want to look at how it unfolds. What is he going to say? Is he going to say? Is he going to what could be the occurrences? Could the president of Colombia? All of this could be made available to us during New York session, and the markets are really reporting to us where we are having candlesticks printing side by side. Now, what this means is that the markets are waiting for the next piece of information to be negative, and as a result, we do anticipate the markets to react as a result. We were anticipating oil prices to be very volatile, and yes, indeed, we did see the markets gap to the downside quite aggressively on this candlestick that did open the weekly candle, where prices of oil did move aggressively almost 1.33% to the downside, but aggressively did close to the upper side, and we did see prices now move to the prices did move to test into the 50 period and the 200 period moving average, but currently at the moment we are seeing sellers still driving the markets to the downside. Now, looking at oil, the highlight, the elephant in the room currently at the moment as it stands, it is oil prices, especially looking at WTI, which is Western Texas oil. What is the deposit in terms of oil reserves, and whatever is going to happen today during New York session with the trial of Maduro and his wife could potentially move oil prices quite aggressively to the upper side. Limo, hello and happy new year to you too. What a way to start the year. Yes, indeed. Trump usually starts the year very nicely. If you look at last year also, as he was sworn, he did impact tariffs into the markets, and we did see the markets move quite aggressively. And as traders, because it provides us with a lot of opportunities to find probabilities in the marketplace. I would want to look at the dollar index. Currently, at the moment, as it stands, the dollar index did gap to the upper side. It is currently trading at 98.38 at the moment as it stands. Could prices come back down, fill this gap that was formed on Friday's closing prices and the opening price of Monday? We are still seeing strength in the dollar. The PMI numbers that are supposed to come out later on in the day could show us what is happening in terms. Now, PMI is usually purchasing managers index, and it is one of the leading data that shows the overall economy health. If it does come out positive, it means why? The economy is generally headed in the right direction. If the numbers do come out greater than 50, it means the economy is generally headed in the right direction. If the numbers do come out greater than 50, if it does come out less than 50, the economy is shrinking and could be very vital. What could happen in terms of in the near future. Now, as it stands, the dollar index, we are having a short-term retracement. Currently, moving back down to the opening candlestick of the weekly. Um, and I would want to see prices to continue moving further to the upper side, but that's going to be dependent on the data that will be released during New York session today. Switching over to Asian session, the dollar again is the Japanese yen to be exact. We did see prices move to the upper side during Asian session, but currently at the moment we are correcting. Right now, as it stands, the markets would look more into macro data. Sorry about that. What could potentially happen call option trading strategies? I do personally the strategies that are available each and every week are the oval building, Westlands. This is off Ring Road. I do take you through various strategies, and put and call options is one of the strategies that I do talk about. Ongilo moments time. Now, currently at the moment, UK oil is not that reactive compared to what we have been seeing on US oil. UK oil did gap to the downside. Identified quite a long time ago. This was back in 2025, whereby prices has been bouncing around the 60 pounds per barrel on UK oil. Currently, at the moment as it stands, I would want to see how odds currently do point to what will happen. If it does turn out to be positive or negative, we do anticipate the markets to react aggressively, especially oil prices. We haven't seen volatility major volatility in the near future. Could this possibly change? I would want to look at MCJ. Say welcome. Are we cool? Let me pull up a chart of Bitcoin. We see what has been happening. Bitcoin has recovered where we did see the markets move quite decent towards the end of last year and towards the start of 2026. Now, currently at the moment, as it stands, this year is going to be it's going to be a very important year. Let the website load. Okay. Just Les Boy wants us to look at GU and UJ. Okay, we shall look at GU and UJ in just a moment time. Now, Bitcoin is up 1.4% on the day. Quite interesting. Looking at this weekly performance, Bitcoin is up 5%, currently trading at $92,521 a coin. Quite interesting considering last year we did see Bitcoin lose almost 20 to 30% in quite a short amount of time, but we have had quite the recovery on Bitcoin currently at the moment as it stands. Not only on Bitcoin, when you look at Ethereum is up 7% on the weekly, XRP is up 14%, Solana is up 7%, BNB is up almost 5% on the year. And I'll want to pay attention to Bitcoin currently at the moment. Okay, TradingView is acting up on me. Now, this is on the weekly perspective looking at Bitcoin. Now, last year we did see Bitcoin lose quite aggressively. This was towards the end of September, where prices of Bitcoin did lose more than 36% of its total value in less than 42 days. But the market started correcting quite aggressively. And at the moment, we are seeing signs of buyers coming into the markets. Now, looking at last week's candlestick, this was the first week in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks we have had signs of buyers coming into the markets. Now, currently at the moment, as it stands, the weekly candle as it stands, we do have 6 days because Bitcoin does trade 24/7, and we are seeing signs of buyers coming into the markets. If we do break above 94,066, I will consider looking at more net long opportunities further to the upper side. That's going to be it for Bitcoin. I would want to go back to MetaTrader and look at USD, GBP USD. Looking at the British pound against the United States dollar. Now, the data that did come out last year wasn't. Okay, so this is a candlestick chart pattern. Now I have a question from MTG7423. Yes, this is a candlestick chart pattern. Now you can maneuver. We do have the candlestick pattern. We do have the bar chart here, and also you do have the line chart. The one that I'm looking at currently at the moment, it is a candlestick chart pattern. Now, going back to GBP/USD, we did see data last year come out negative. We did see unemployment for the British pound. Now, looking at that piece of information, when you're looking at GBP/USD, if the British pound is weaker, you anticipate the dollar to gain. So, a new blank canvas ahead of us. We want to look at the information that is going to be released as time moves on, especially looking at the geopolitical tensions. What could happen in the United States could potentially affect prices of GBP. Did see prices rally to the upper side, and this was when the British Bank of England essentially did decide to hold on to interest rates, and the United States were cutting interest rates, and we did see GBP/USD move to the upper side, but we did hit a ceiling around 1.35230 late last year, where the markets did make a high, and we haven't gone back to that region of resistance. Looking at the weekly candlestick, an inverted hammer, signaling that indeed buyers and sellers are struggling for the market, and of new information so that the markets could potentially expand either to the upper side or to the downside. Currently, at the moment, as it stands, the 200 period moving average is still well above price action, but we are seeing the 50 period moving average well below the 200, signaling that yes, indeed, the markets are currently in a decisive point where what could happen next could point out to New York session withdrawal of money. His wife to say about allegations of human trafficking, about the allegations of terrorism, what could happen to oil prices, and this is the best as a result of the volatility that we do anticipate. It means we have opportunities, which we have a new promotion for us traders called the Client Storm. You have an opportunity to grow your network and turn every milestone into cash rewards. Now, the promotion is going to be throughout 2026, but the first segment did start on 2nd of January till 31st of March 2026, where we do have a grand prize of $10,000 for the top affiliate. That is almost 1.3 million Kenyan shillings, where if you do refer and traders hit 100, you are eligible for $500. If you do hit the 200 milestone, you are going to be eligible for $1,000. And if you do hit 500, you are going to be eligible to earn $2,500, even if you are not the top performer. How do you join? You go over to the HFM platform. Under the affiliate segment, open a verified HFM affiliate account. Navigate to promotions, then the client storm, join the promotion, drive new funded wallets and earn up to the 1.3 mic. Even if you don't take the top prize, you can still earn milestone rewards. These opportunities are here for us for the taking. That's going to be it for me. Stay safe, take care of yourselves. I shall see you when you do see me. I would want to leave you with this final note. Kindly go over to our socials. When you go to HFM Kenya, the link is in the bio. We do have the link tree. We have everything under one umbrella. If you want classes, if you want the economic calendar, if you want the earnings report, anything to do with the markets, I would want to welcome our listeners from Somalia, Rwanda, Uganda, and Malawi. Welcome to the morning market call. My name is Ian Joseph, market analyst, HFM. That's going to be it for me. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves.